Sanju Verma, I want to begin by asking you, ma'am. 19 political parties in our democracy have accused the Narendra Modi government of completely sidelining President Draupadi Murmu and insulting high office. They've decided to boycott the ceremony inaugurating the temple of democracy in the mother of democracies.
You know, Gaurav, I'm quite amused at the hypocrisy of the opposition. I was reading this letter, or rather the joint statement issued by them, and the opposition has quoted Article 79 of the Constitution, which basically talks about the various powers of the President Draupadi Murmu ji in this case. I want to remind the combined opposition of 19 parties, a very fractious and debilitated opposition at that please go and read Article 74(1) and Article 75(1) of the Constitution also. With no offense to none, Draupadi Murmu ji, the president in this case, is the leader of the state. This is what the Constitution states as per Article 74(1), the de jure head of the state, but the de facto head of the government. And this distinction between de jure and de facto has been made in the Constitution itself. It is not something that I am throwing off my hat. The de facto head of the government is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the Constitution empowers him the right to go ahead and inaugurate the new Parliament building.
Okay.
The Speaker also, the articles from Article 93 to Article 96, they delineate in great detail the powers vested in the Speaker by the Indian Constitution. So I think the opposition suffers from selective amnesia. They are quoting the Constitution very selectively, and I will just end by saying one thing. The last line I found rather interesting because of its sheer hypocrisy. They say when the soul of democracy has been sucked out from the parliament, we find no value in the new building. Who is talking about the soul of democracy being sucked out? The Congress party. We know what Indira Gandhi did in 1975 by way of the emergency. We know how Rajiv Gandhi tried to bring anti-defamation bill. Thank God it did not see the light of the day. We recall how Manmohan Singh aka Sonia Gandhi government tried to bring in the communal violence bill. Thank God it did not see the light of the day. We remember how Nehru introduced the First Amendment to the Constitution and brought great restrictions to free speech.
Fair enough, ma'am. You've made your point. Let's take this step by step. Pranav Jha, the BJP accuses the Congress and others in opposition, accuses them of hypocrisy, opposing for the sake of opposition. Union Minister Hardeep Puri, he quoted several instances, including Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister laying the foundation stone for Parliament Library in 87, Indira Gandhi inaugurating the Parliament Annex in 1975. Why complain now if Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the new Temple of Democracy building, sir?
Thank you, Gaurav. I heard your report, and I'm happy that in your report also you called it Temple of Democracy, but there were unnecessary expressions like frustration, sulking and unparliamentary. I think fighting for the right of the President of India is not sulking. It is not unparliamentary. In fact, it is the right of the President that to be defended by at least the opposition of the country. My argument, if you call it Temple of Democracy, the senior former minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, my brethren from Bihar, उन्होंने कहा कि ये लोकतंत्र का मुकुट है. हाँ, लोकतंत्र का मुकुट है. This is a temple of democracy. So who is the supreme deity of the temple of democracy? I ask you, isn't the people of India the supreme deity of the democracy? And who is the first citizen of this temple of India? The President herself. President मतलब राष्ट्राध्यक्ष, प्रधानमंत्री राष्ट्राध्यक्ष नहीं है, President राष्ट्राध्यक्ष. Now coming to the argument, Parliament, we all know and you'll agree, all panelists on this August panel, is that supreme legislative body of this country, of India, and President is the highest constitutional authority. There's no argument about it. And you, my colleague, my friend from the opposition, she said, she quoted Article 79, but she did not describe, it says that the Parliament shall consist of President, the President and two houses, namely the State of Councils, the Council of States and the House of People. It does not say the Parliament annexee, it does not say Parliament library, it says Parliament. There can only be one Parliament.
Okay.
We are talking about sanctity of that Parliament,
Gaurav.
which the President of India is part of. She is the Supreme Commander of the Defence Forces. She is the first citizen. She calls the House in the session. She prorogues the bill. She prorogues the House. She gives assent to the bill.
Okay.
She is the Supreme in the country.